Welcome to Leahy Stadium on this chilly Saturday morning for the St. Ignatius engagement, I believe it's called. This is the second of three games we'll be playing today between the Creighton Prep Junior Jays and the Mount Michael Knights. I'm Brendan Preisman alongside Tyler Reedy. And Tyler, bit of a chill in the air, but that means it's the beginning of soccer season, and both these teams have gotten out to a little bit of different starts to begin the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Chilly, as you said, but should be getting warmer as we go along, and the soccer should be getting hotter as well. Mount Michael fell to Omaha Skutt Catholic 4-0 in Game 1 at 9 a.m. earlier today, but she has to get right back on the saddle, bounce back against a tough Junior J team, top three in the state behind only Omaha South and Lincoln Southwest. Prep off to a 2-0 start this year with wins over Omaha Central and Millard North, and looking to build on it here today. Should be a fun one.
So as you mentioned, Omaha South, the number one team in the state right now. So Mount Michael has now began their season with two of the three games against top three teams. They lost 8-0 to Omaha South last week, and now they are playing Prep here this morning. And a guy we're going to have to watch out for today for the Junior Jays, of course, is Jack Johnson, the sophomore forward.
Yeah, he's been huge for the Junior Jays. You love your seniors getting involved and making plays. You got guys like Jacob Hove on the back end. He's a junior defenseman on the backside, center back. Thomas Basali, a junior as well. But even when you get sophomores involved as well, that's huge for the Junior Jays because your experience is great to lead this team, especially down the stretch. But early on in the season, you need contributions from everybody. And Johnson, just a sophomore at striker. His tandem alongside Simon Metcalf, the senior, has been excellent for the Junior Jays, getting goals in the back of the net. Prep will certainly look to continue that today.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need it. Johnson leads the team in goals with two. Only other scorers are Will Quinn and Max Matthews, the senior and junior midfielders. Mount Michael's still scoreless with a goal differential of -12, but as you said, they're hoping they can change that today. And one thing we did notice with the Millard North game was that the cold did seem to affect players, especially the defenders and the goalkeepers. Do you think that has a chance to do so here again today?
Yeah, absolutely. But the big difference, I would say, is wind. It was gusty, really gusty for that Millard North game, up to 40 miles an hour as we get underway. But wind conditions very calm in this one. Should be plenty of crosses, switching the field, just getting the ball in the air, and should be a bit more offense from the early going here.
You'd certainly hope so. So Mount Michael gets the kickoff, and now they're working it around right to left. And ball loose in the midfield. John Burns picks it up, tries to shovel to Metcalf, but he cannot, and it's taken by John Sitz, the freshman, and cleared down to the left sideline. And it'll be a throw-in for the Junior Jays, I believe. And it's going to be Max Matthews, the junior midfielder, taking it. He's going to throw it in to Nick Ostopovich, who will get it to Jacob Hove, the defenseman, and now Hove going to take it across the middle over to Drayton Baber, the sophomore defenseman. And he tries to clear it up to midfield, nearly stolen by Mount Michael, but Prep able to retain control, and now Metcalf at midfield lets it slide through to Burns. And Burns tries to clear it up, and a loose ball. Looked like Moria had a chance at it, but the Mount Michael defense able to shore up and stop it. Santa Maria now holding the ball and will clear it away near midfield. And Tyler, this Prep team, methodical attack, a lot of passes we're going to see today.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've got great speed on the front end with guys like Matthews. We talked about Johnson in the open. They're going to want to try and find their guys on diagonal runs, get them into the corner, and send crosses into the box. We saw Max Matthews come up with a goal off of that kind of play against Millard North.
And you could see there John Burns and Simon Metcalf tried for a little give-and-go play. Didn't quite work, and Santa Maria was able to retain possession of the ball. Now Mount Michael with it in midfield. Jurgen Beller, the senior, had it for a bit, and now recovers it off the bounce, but they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Beckett Beller, the freshman. And you mentioned how important it was to get your seniors going. Mount Michael, Tyler, has only 3 seniors on the roster. This is a young team, but they're definitely getting some experience pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about the Omaha South matchup to open the season. Now the Junior Jays, they're eating their Wheaties early on this season, faced some tough opponents.
Certainly have. Tough play there in the box. It was Ryan Stumpf and Brady Bragg fighting for the ball. It goes out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to be a Prep corner. There, Mount Michael trying to quickly get over there. It's Nick Ostopovich who's going to take the kick. And Prep, a smart team. They do like to work off of set pieces here in the corners when they get a chance. Into the middle. Burns, I think that was, no, it was Aiden Morey, excuse me, Tried to get it, now it's cleared out, and Baber running for it. Instead, it's Grant Corey, the freshman, who takes it, but now Max Matthews able to recover, clear it back to TJ Dervin, the senior keeper. He will shovel it over to Baber on the right sideline, and Prep will begin the attack again.
It's excellent work by Matthews as a midfielder, sensing that Jacob Hove, the center back, had gone towards the box, looking for an opportunity on the corner kick, but Matthews able to work all the way back to help Baber out, avoid a one-on-one situation.
And it is nice to have a guy like Baber back on the back line. He's only a sophomore. I watched him play quite a bit on the freshman team last year. My brother was on that team, and he was just a tough, physical defender. He can win those one-on-one situations, but as you said, it's nice to have Matthews back there to help just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. Baber really great at just using his body to shield off attackers from the ball. Excellent possessor.
Burns trying to clear it down the left sideline. Too many Knights. A little bit of traffic in the area, and that did not work for Thomas Pasali, who's also got a goal on the year. But Burns, a pretty aggressive midfielder when it comes to making those passes like that. You mentioned Prep likes to make diagonal runs. He's fed a lot of those already this year. And as one of the leaders of this team, he's probably going to have the opportunity to feed a lot more. And Pasali, a little too much on that, and it looks like we're going to have a goal kick for Mount Michael.
It was a good defensive coverage on the right side by Mount Michael. We saw Sam Kleinschmidt, the junior back there, Jurgen Beller as well, the senior, doing a great job back toward that right corner. Pasali is pretty speedy on the outside, and Burns usually has excellent ball placement, finding him on that wing, but Mount Michael able to stay inside him and avoid that opportunity.
Short goal kick for the Knights, and Jack Johnson made him pay, coming up from behind and forcing the ball out of bounds. So now Prep will take possession. Here is Johnson on the left sideline, about the 20, clears it back out to Ostopovic, and a long kick. Little too much for Simon Metcalf, but I believe they're going to call a foul from the spot of the ball. It looked like Ostopovic was taken out by, I think that was Sam Kleinschmidt, the junior back. So rough play there for Mount Michael defensively. They thought they may have had a decent stop after a run by Metcalf, but now Jacob Hove will get a chance for the free kick.
And Prep scored on a free kick set piece just like this, with Hove sending it in right on goal. Keeper wasn't able to handle it for Millard North, and Jack Johnson cleaned it up.
This time, though, it will be cleared out by Nick Halpin, the sophomore defender, rising above the pack. Here is Ostopovic still running. Collision, no call. Metcalf missed it. It did not look like Will Quinn missed it, but right to Sebastian Santamaria. Made a nice save with the extension. So Mount Michael had a couple of defensive breakdowns early. Luckily, nothing's coming up yet for Prep. Do you think that Mount Michael will be able to keep this up?
Not for long, it doesn't look like. Creighton Prep has just possessed the ball really well. And if they can keep sending these into the box at will, you got to believe they're going to get a bounce in their favor. And we just saw Jack Johnson moments ago get a piece of that after Metcalf missed it. Great save had to be made by the keeper, but Prep, as you see right there, just keep sending it in the box. They'll get their look.
Yeah, Mount Michael's had only like a couple of touches in the attacking third for Prep, and that was a 1-on-2 attack. But Prep's been basically living in the attacking third all night. Baber tried to clear it in. Metcalf wanted a shot at it, but may have been offsides, didn't go for it. So it'll be another goal kick for Mount Michael. And you can tell that Prep wants these. Metcalf's been sent on a lot of runs so far, and eventually he's going to get his foot on one of these. And like you mentioned, eventually that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back for the Knights of Mount Michael. Just too many runs for Prep. That ball through the legs of Morey. He did touch that ball apparently. So it will be a Mount Michael throw-in. Drew Van Hout, the junior, will give way to Peter Haas, the freshman, for the throw-in. Haas right to Van Hout, who's immediately surrounded, and Haas lost the ball. Just some great attacking defense by Prep, but they will call a foul, I believe, on Brady Bragg, the junior. A little too excited to make that play and ended up fouling Haas.
So now Mount Michael, clear opportunity to get this into the Creighton Prep end and the attacking end of the field. We'll see if they can do anything with it.
Haas, looks like that was stolen by Metcalf. And now it's cleared back to the left side. There is Jacob Hove with the ball. Ostopovic now with it at the 35. Keeping it himself. A long touch, too long for Nick Ostopovic. and Kleinschmidt kicked it off of Baber, so now Mount Michael will have possession on the attacking side of the 50, and just like you mentioned, Tyler, a real chance to get it in. Header, nice play there from Max Matthews, the midfielder, to keep the ball out of Prep's danger zone. And now Baber with a long clear over the head of Metcalf, over the head of almost everybody. Nick Halpin coming in to get it, but Metcalf pokes it away. And Morey and Burns nearly collided, but Morey was able to get it to Jack Johnson, to Metcalf, to Burns, and now Burns with a chance to attack. He clears to the middle. That is Brady Bragg with it, I believe. He's going to try a shot, and it will go left of the goal. So Prep's defense looking very stout today, unlike what we saw against Omaha Central and Millard North, where there were a little bit of breakdowns. So far, nothing doing. TJ Dervin's barely had to move so far, which I'm sure can't be fun in this weather.
Yeah, I do like what I saw, however, on the throw-in from Mount Michael. The Knights just trying to push the pace a little bit, get it in quickly, try and catch Prep a little bit unsettled because Junior J is obviously extremely well coached on the back end. Guys like Hove, Bragg, and Baber have been dominant this season at times. But if you can catch them a little unsettled, feet not quite set, could create an opportunity.
Oh, what a save from Morey, keeping it in. Has a cross opportunity here. And there's Metcalf with it. Double team, spins out of it. Nice block there from Beckett Beller off the Brady Bragg attempt. Metcalf again with it. This time it is Ostopovic into Bragg. Bragg had it, lost it, and it's cleared away by Ryan Stumpf, the junior defenseman. And the passing of Prep has really been one of their strong points, but sometimes there can be a little too much passing. Sometimes, especially with a guy like Simon Metcalf, who's one of the better forwards on this team, eventually you just got to say, get with it and go, because giving Mount Michael a chance to reset their defense after some clearances like Prep has had is not advisable, because when they do get a chance to set up, they're pretty good defensively.
Yeah, I do like what Metcalf did there, though, receiving the cross. Looked up, saw that there were a couple defenders in the way, probably wasn't going to get a very clean shot off, but left it back for Bragg to run onto it and looked to get a hard shot off. Unfortunately, had it deflected, but just trying to set up your guys, reinforcements coming in from behind. Can be a good move for Metcalf if there's nothing available in front.
Baber throws it into Burns. Burns, a nice touch, another nice touch. Heard he had 100 juggles in a row at practice once. I can't confirm that rumor. Oh, it is true. So Burns, one of the best handlers of the ball on this team. And now Prep another chance to attack. That shot curving left from Jacob Hove. Put his entire leg into that one, but it'll come up a little to the left. Man, what a play from John Burns.
Yeah, that was some class right there, as they would say. John Burns he's usually all around the ball at that midfield position, patrolling the center of the pitch, and you saw him right there just flipping the ball right up and over the Mount Michael Knight that time. And Jacob Hove as well coming off the back end. He's got one of the strongest legs on the team, and almost sent a missile into that top corner. Keep an eye on him. Hove from his center back spot likes to step up a little bit.
Looks like there's a man down at about the 45-yard line. Referee stopping play for a bit, and the Mount Michael coaches and staff coming on. Looked like there may have been a collision with Baber on the bouncing ball, but can't really tell from here.
Yeah, looks like it might take him a little bit to tend the fallen Knight, but we'll be right back as we take a look at him.
So welcome back to Leahy Stadium. We are resuming play, and some substitutions have come on for the Junior Jays. Zamere Iska, the junior forward, number 17, is now in for them. There might be a couple others for Mount Michael as well. The injured player was able to walk off under his own power, which is always good to see. And now it's played into Ostopovic. He shovels over to Brady Bragg, and we can resume action again. A little under 29 minutes here to go in the first half. 0-0 right now, and Bragg, a lot of space, still attacking. And finally shovels to Johnson. Johnson going to try and cross it here if he's got a chance. He does. Into Metcalf. Metcalf deflected by Beckett Beller, who's been there quite a bit. And it's going to be another corner kick for the Junior Jays. But you have to like what Beller's been doing so far on defense. There's been a lot of opportunities for Prep, and he has shown no fear. He's gotten in the way of a lot of potential shots for Prep.
Yeah, that's just what you have to do when you're going up against Prep. You got to recognize it. They're going to look to get the ball toward the corner to their midfielders and strikers and work it back toward the top of the box on a cross. And just put yourself in good position to be in between those strikers like Simon Metcalf and the goalkeeper to limit those opportunities, because you know Junior Jays are going to try and create them.
Santa Maria made a nice save on the corner kick directly in the air, and the threat is neutralized for Prep. But now Burns with the ball again. Nice pass to Metcalf. Metcalf over to Matthews. Matthews has Burns on the sideline. Instead, he's going to take it to the middle, and he is met again. That's Beckett Beller again. The freshman has made a lot of nice plays against a more experienced Prep team. Iska back to Brady Bragg. Bragg is going to give way to Hove. Hove will give it to Baber with a man on. Baber taking his time. Tried to get it to Johnson. And now Mount Michael a chance to go the other way. It's Sam Kleinschmidt, but Baber has possession back. And he is going to give way to Brady Bragg. Every time Mount Michael has had an opportunity to move it into the attacking half, Prep's done a really good job at just getting the ball and holding on to it.
Yeah, Junior Jays are incredibly well disciplined on the back end. We know that coming in, and Mount Michael just really hasn't had the personnel, quite frankly. They've had so much devoted to the back end with Creighton Prep pressing so much offensively. Every time they've moved it up across midfield,
here
they've
is
only
a
had
chance.
1 or 2.
And a great play by Jacob Hove to shield the ball from the attacker Ethan Moline. And another Mount Michael threat neutralized quite easily by the defense of the Junior Jays. And now Matthews has a chance to attack. A little bit of an advantage here for Prep if Matthews wants it. Has Iska there and will give way to him. Iska at the 15. He's going to unleash a left-footed shot. And it goes. So a 1-0 lead for the Junior Jays. Zamir Iska, the junior, his first goal of the season. And what a rocket that was.
Yeah, I have no idea how he snuck that one in short side on the goalkeeper, but a left-footed strike from just outside the top of the box. Yeah, wow. Ooh. I mean, it looked like he was curving it in towards the center of the goal and still got it inside that left post. Just a beautiful play by Zamir Isaka.
Definitely what you want to see from the Junior Jays offense. So with 26-28 remaining in the first half, it is 1-0 Junior Jays. Isco with the goal in what I believe would be the 13th minute, if we're keeping track the way the British do. And now Burns with the ball. He will give way to Dervin, touching the ball for only the second time this morning. He has not had a very busy day at all. He's mostly been chilling back there. Baber to Burns. Burns going to take his time. There is Matthews with it. Matthews to Bragg. Bragg going to kick it over to Hove. And once again, the Prep defense really taking their time setting up. And you mentioned Mount Michael not having the personnel a bit earlier, and that's really troublesome because once the Prep defense gets one guy broken down in their end, that means there's one more man not back when Prep begins the attack. And that can lead to some man advantages that will lead to the goals like we just saw from Zamira Isaka. A collision there with Beckett Beller by Isaka, no foul called, and it's going to be a Prep throw. So, Tyler, given how well controlled the ball has been when it's in the hands of the Junior Jays, what do you think Mount Michael has to do to negate that advantage, maybe get a goal back up on the Junior Jays?
Well, I mean, I think you have to try and find a way to not give it to them in the first place when you have those opportunities coming across midfield. And you've got to bring a couple more offensive players, whether they're midfielders working up and down the field or another striker. Mount Michael just needs to have more guys to counterbalance the skill and discipline of the Creighton Prep defenders.
They should play with 12.
One-on-two opportunities just aren't going to work for the Knights. We've seen that early on.
They should play with 12 and see how long it takes for the refs to notice. Cross in! And a field goal that time. Off the cross from Max Matthews. let's see.
That was Pasali.
It was Pasali. Yeah, he had a goal this year already. Tried to get another one, but a little too high. Decent recovery there by Mount Michael to force the rush shot and potentially a 2-0 deficit for them. Avoided, luckily, thanks to a nice defensive recovery. But great run there by Max Matthews, able to get the cross in quite nicely. It was actually the second wave with Pasali that was able to get on the ball. The first wave ran a little past it. Now another chance here for Matthews. Got Burns on the sideline. Instead spins back around, trying to take it himself. Through one, through two, and now another cross chance. And Matthews, that one's going to be deflected. A nice sliding deflection from Peter Haas, the freshman. So it will be another kick from the corner for the Junior Jays. And as we've mentioned, they have been spectacular from set pieces so far this season.
Yeah, certainly. And going back to that shot with Pasali, it's a bit of a tougher strike than it looks from up here. With that cross and shot going over the net, as we see another opportunity, but had the defender right there on him, couldn't really stride into the ball and kick it low to the ground. Kind of had to short foot a little bit, if you will.
And it was a right-footed strike coming from his right.
Yeah,
so it's
not an easy one to get.
Shot. Burns and Metcalf both had a chance at that cross. Metcalf missed it. Burns did get some foot on it, but it went to the left of the goal. Baber now with it, clears it into a swarm of Mount Michael defenders. That is Jurgen Beller with it. Ooh, a fancy spin from John Sitz, the freshman. And now Mount Michael getting past midfield, but they will not be able to retain possession. It was Sitz getting ready to give way to Moline, but a little too much mustard on that pass, and it will be Junior J possession once again.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do if you're Mount Michael. I like what they had there with 2 or 3 offensive players working their way down that right sideline. You have to try and tactically break them down rather than just clear it out and hope for a 1v2 opportunity to bounce your way. Have to try and beat the Junior Jays with passing. It's not going to be easy to do because this team's so well coached, but got to try and pass the ball around and make plays that way.
And you can still make risky passes. That pass was through 2 defenders, but they were able to make it work, or it would have worked because they had the men to do it. So now we got a couple of subs coming on. I believe that's Nolan Beller for Mount Michael, as well as Will Bruggeman, the sophomore. So those guys coming in, and maybe those are the guys they need because fresh legs, even in this cold weather, can be super helpful for a squad. So
yeah, especially when they just played a couple hours ago against Omaha Scott. Rest is going to be an interesting factor to watch with all 3 of these teams. Prep also playing Omaha Scott right after this one at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, triple header today in Leahy Stadium, and it's been some pretty good soccer so far. Prep a 1-0 lead, 21:38 to go in the first half. Here is Pasali to Burns. Burns wants it. Almost had it, but not quite. That was Jack Johnson, who has been money in the goal box all year. Might have been deflected. They say no, it was a shot from Johnson, and for what feels like the 4th or 5th time, Prep has a shot go left on them. They've been right there on a couple of these, but unlucky. Tyler Gonzowski now coming in for the Junior Jays. Also coming in is number 16, Stephen Kimenow. So 2 seniors now coming in. And you mentioned the experience and how well coached this Prep team is a couple of times, and bringing in seniors in the midfield at a time where Mount Michael's been able to get some breaks in the midfield is probably pretty important. There is Gonzowski immediately in. And what a save there from Sebastian Santamaria. Gonzowski took advantage of the bouncing ball, went all the way in and almost had a shot at it, but Santamaria has been spectacular all morning and is able to prevent the threat.
That was a great play by Gonzowski. Hello, Mr. Gonzowski, right into the game. Able to calm down that.
Isika was a sub too when he came on and scored. So
yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the attacking coming from fresh legs, and it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic changes or shifts at all in the second game. Burns to Metcalf. Oh, didn't have it. Burns does. Deflected. Up in the air. Who wants it? Kimenow does. And now Ostopovic able to almost save it. And yes, does save it to Brady Bragg. Here comes Bragg. A lot of traffic in the area. Isika clears it out. Going to look cross field, and Wind got a hold of that one. He was looking for Pasali, but it curved away and down. George Lotto, the senior, also coming in, and he will give Ostojić a bit of a breather. So Prep starting to sub a little more often. We're over halfway through the first half right now, and you can tell that they are definitely trying to conserve some legs for their starting attackers.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scott, just based on what we saw in the morning matchup, the Skyhawks taking the 4-0 victory over the Knights. Should be a tougher matchup coming up later on. So Prep, if they feel pretty comfortable with this one, if they feel they've got the game pretty much under control, still very early in this one, but once they get to that point, definitely going to see a lot of subs as they, as you said, start to conserve for that second matchup.
Ball in for Glogowski. Santa Maria, another spectacular play. Neutralizing another Prep threat. Baber getting it right back into Glogowski, who's been a maniac so far in the few minutes since he's been in. And now here's Pasali working on Will Bruggeman, the sophomore, and trying to make moves, and will have to give way to Ostojić. It's Ostojić's turn, and John Sitz, the freshman, right there with him. So the defense of Mount Michael on the sidelines really shoring up a bit. It's in the middle with those more 50-50 bouncing balls that they've had trouble, but the sideline defense has been great. Here is Burns. Nice touch over everybody. Looked like he wanted a run from Glogowski. Didn't have it, and Santa Maria gobbles up another potential scoring chance for the Junior Jays. Pasali battling and lost it to Ethan Moline. Moline trying to go 1-on-4 basically, and he'll get the throw in. So you mentioned earlier, it might not be the best idea, but that throw in does give Mount Michael a chance to bring more guys up and a chance to run for more of a set piece here in the offensive end of Prep for the first time in a while. A long throw. Burns hit his own man. He was trying to go over Jacob Hove for that, and it left Jurgen Beller with a quick shot, but he was well to the right. So Mount Michael had a decent chance at it, but even though you're down 1-0, you probably don't have to be too quick with your shots here. As you mentioned, they've still got plenty of time to get something going offensively.
Yeah, I didn't like that look there for Beller. It was up in the air, had a good spot at the top of the box, but he was flat-footed, so he couldn't get much on that shot.
Lotto just over his head, and Pasali with it, and Prep quick attacking right back into the goal box of the Knights. Ooh. And another goal. That is 2 for Zamir Isaka. He has come in and just been a force offensively for the Junior Jays, and in the 22nd minute, he adds his second goal of the season and the game. Zamir Isaka has just been right there when the Junior Jays have needed him. What a game so far from him.
And what can you do with Santa Maria? That's just a rocket right into the center of the twine. Another perfect set-piece cross-look for the Junior Jays, and Zamir Isaka, I mean, what can you say? He has been the man in this one for Creighton Prep. Certainly making his claim for, not just man of the match for this one, but for the whole Ignatian Cup here on this Saturday afternoon. Just a perfect start for Zamir Isaka and the Junior Jays.
Mm-hmm. And they've been spending a lot of time inside the Mount Michael 30-yard line, basically. Ostojić again to Glogowski, and Glogowski has been a big key to all of these attacks. Unfortunately, he's not going to get that. Got to be careful. There's a brick wall behind the end line there. And if you run too fast, you might end up getting taken out. Somebody was taken out at the end of the play. Maybe a bit of cramping there. Glogowski trying to help him. I can't really tell who that is, and the referee will ask for a stoppage. Player hops up. I believe that's Ryan Stump, the junior. Looked like he and Glogowski might have had their legs tangled, and Stump went down. So they will call a goal kick, and it appears that, well, it looks like the referees were going to have a discussion. Now they changed their mind. And they are going to sub out Stump, let him catch his breath after that fall. I think this is John Sitz, the freshman, coming back. Oh, excuse me, no, it's Siler Sennett, also a freshman. So now a goal kick, and Glogowski right there again. He has seemingly gotten a foot on every ball that's bounced inside the 20 so far. He has just been incredible offensively for Prep. Nothing really on the stat sheet yet, but he's definitely had a major impact since he came in.
Yeah, absolutely. Glogowski, it's just been so well under control, knocking down these bouncing balls for the Junior Jays and turning Mount Michael's clearing attempts into second chance opportunities for the Junior Jays. He's been a big piece.
Burns there trying to make a play, and he does make a play out of bounds. So now a throw coming up. For Mount Michael, it is Peter Haas, and now he will let Nick Halpin, the sophomore, take this throw. And it is right to Brady Bragg. Burns, Kimenow, Burns, and we got another play developing here is George Loro. Can he clear it in? He cannot. Looked like the ball bounced a little too high for him. And it's going to be another goal kick for the Knights, but the attacking just continuing for Creighton Prep.
Burns has been setting the table up so well for Creighton Prep. I have no idea how he was able to put the right kind of English on that ball to feed it through to George Loro, but he gave him an excellent opportunity to run onto that one. Just a little tough to get under control, but Burns and Gonsalski have been tremendously impactful for Creighton Prep in the early going.
And the chemistry they have is undeniable. They're in a lot of classes together. They're in my English class together, and I think they hold the record for most times being told to get back on task. But this whole team has a lot of chemistry, and, I mean, you can sense it. Like, when Ithaca scored his 2 goals, like, whole team immediately is coming over to congratulate him, and you've touched on the coaching a lot, but I do think the chemistry is also a big part of it, because you're not going to be willing to share the ball as much if it's a guy you don't like having the ball. But these guys all seem to really like each other, and I think that's a big help when it comes to stuff like sharing the love on the attacking end.
Yeah, and these guys played some indoor soccer as well throughout the offseason together. And
I believe they won the title.
Yeah, and a big part of the team is returning from last spring as well. So chemistry is absolutely there, and then some for the Junior Jays. It's going to help them a lot, not only to win games on the small scale like this, but potentially make a deep playoff run.
Lost in, I believe, the state semifinals last year. A very tough, crushing loss, especially for all the seniors. Don't want to have that experience repeated. Mantone has Gonsalski and Kimenow. Kimenow takes it, tries to clear. Mantone had a shot at it, but Beckett Beller has it. And now Scott coming the other way with Jurgen Beller. Beller working on Bragg in a collision. Bragg able to take possession to Ithaca. Ithaca 2 men on, and he will clear over to Baber. Prep will get a chance to reset. 13:30 to go here in the opening frame. 2-0 Junior Jays at the moment. Mount Michael has only 1 shot on goal, and Prep once again back on the attacking side of the field. Here is Ithaca. He will give it back to Hove. Hove over to Brady Bragg. Bragg will dribble a lot of space for Brady Bragg. I'm surprised there was nobody there coming to stop him. Gonsalski back to Bragg. Still no one there for Bragg. Now finally Beller does show up. Burns, nice touch. I think he might have been looking for Kimenow. Kimenow didn't quite get there, but Gonsalski did off the deflection. He will clear it in. And a nice shield there by Will Quinn.
I think Mount Michael, the reason they're giving guys like Bragg so much space, they're playing almost a man-to-man type of defense near the top of the box, waiting for those sends by the Junior Jays. And even so, those big rebounds, Creighton Prep crashing. It's just tough to stop them when they get those set pieces going.
Guy who has done a great job, though, Sebastian Santamaria. Full extension there. And another incredible play from the Mount Michael goalie. This scoreline is 2-0, but it could be a lot worse if he hasn't made some of the plays he's been making. And it's nice to have a keeper like that, because he's only a junior, so he'll be back next year. But a guy who's already that talented and still has some experience left to go, it's probably a pretty comforting feeling as a defense to just have that back there. Like, even if you make a mistake, if you're able to recover quickly and force a decently poor shot, then he's probably going to bail you out.
Yeah, and he seems to have a great feel for the position as well. We've seen when he's made some of those diving stops, he stayed right on his line, giving the ball as much time as possible to travel to him and give him more reaction time. But also, we've seen him come out toward the top and edges of the box as well to thwart potential Junior J opportunities. So, yeah, like you said, he's been a big part of Mount Michael, at least staying within shouting distance of this one.
A chance for an attack there from Moline and Kleinschmidt of Mount Michael, but it was mishandled. The ball went to Ithaca, and now Gonsalski giving way. Here is Dominic Mantone. Tried to clear it in. A nice deflection there from Peter Haas. But Gonsalski to Laurelato to Gonsalski. Deflected. Up in the air, and Burns will take a touch, take another. And now it's reset. He will give it to Brady Bragg at about the 20. Bragg, 3 defenders in the area, still keeps his footing somehow. Ball's in the box, and it's a score. Glogowski finally on the board, and a hat trick for the substitutes of the Junior Jays in the 29th minute. They make it 3-0. What a play from Tyler Glogowski, and what a play from the entire Prep offense. It was Brady Bragg who went through 4 defenders, it looked like. Somehow kept his footing and played it through. And Prep able to get another goal out of it. So now 3-0 with 10:57. And you were just talking about Mount Michael staying in shouting distance, but they're going to need to get something on the offensive end if they want to stay in shouting distance.
Yeah, and that whole goal set up by Brady Bragg, that was incredible athleticism to work his way through those 3-4 defenders of Mount Michael and find his way to cross it. Two offensive Junior Jays waiting for it on the inside. Asaka, Laurel, Gonsalski were all over there looking for that opportunity, and Creighton Prep is crashing so well.
Speaking of opportunity, there was one for the Knights, but Jack Fifley kind of snuffed that one out. And another chance. They ran kind of an onside kick-looking play where instead of playing it back on the kickoff, they played it forward, but it did not work. And now a deep throw looking for Isaka. Instead it goes to Mantone. Mantone had a chance for the cross if he wanted it, but physical defense by Beller preventing that. Will Quinn giving way to Peter Hoover. Hoover over to Baber. Baber going to take his time. Finds Kimenow. Back to Baber. Ooh, solid defense there from Drew Van Hout. Gets the steal of the much bigger Baber. And Baber kind of brought him to the ground after the play, and they're going to whistle you for that every time. So Drew Van Hout doing a pretty good job on defense, bothering both Kimenow and Baber enough to the point that the Knights will take over possession.
Yeah, that was a really nice tackle by Van Hout. When you've got a bigger guy like Baber on him, you can't really try and get inside position on him body-wise, but if you can have those quick feet and disrupt the dribble, keep an eye on when he potentially takes too heavy of a touch, swoop in, make the play. Perfect execution by Van Hout.
After the play, Baber went with more of a football tackle, brought him to the ground, and those types of tackles are not legal on the soccer pitch. So that's why you got called for the foul. Looks like we're going to get a Prep throw in, and that is to Laurel Lotto, trying to get it to Hoover. Bouncing ball in. Hoover does retain possession with Beller right on top of him. Beller has been really tough to deal with for the Junior Jays. He's been physical and in their faces on almost every loose ball.
Yeah, and that was almost like when you have a defensive back in football, that is American football, when he's playing defense and gets his hands right in between the hands of the receiver. It almost looked like Beller had his foot right in between the ankles of Peter Hoover. I mean, extremely difficult to try and get the pass off.
And by American football, do you mean the only type of football?
Oh, okay.
I believe we're broadcasting soccer here. What's the YouTube thumbnail say?
It does say soccer.
There we go.
But
I mean, people call it football.
We could have some viewers in the UK. Who knows?
If that's the case, good afternoon.
Top of the morning to you.
Well, it's not the top of the morning, though. The time differential.
Yeah, it is true.
Probably be almost evening, actually.
Yep, 5:38, 6:38.
Hope the tea was good.
Hope you're enjoying the Junior Jays.
We certainly are. Kimenow looking in for Mantone, but it was stolen. Baber had a chance to steal that from Van Hout, but Beller will get it. Beller to Haas, and now Mount Michael. Some nice touches. And a big chance for Moline, but offsides at the 46. So that attack done before it can get started. It doesn't count as offsides if you're behind everybody on your own side of midfield, but it looked like Moline was just a little past midfield, and the assistant referee did a great job of spotting that in time. So another attack snuffed out. Hoover, what a great shield from Peter Hoover, but they are going to call the foul. Held the shield for a little too much and a little too long, and I think one of the big reasons was he extended his arms, and you can't do that.
Yeah, he made it pretty obvious when you do it for that long. That
looked more like a box out in basketball.
You're not really making a proper soccer play there. You're definitely playing the man instead of the ball. But yeah, good call from the officials, I would say. But
and good effort by Haas too to try and get past the much bigger Hoover in order to get that ball. Now a free kick played in, goes past Baber, and I believe that is number Was that Moline again? It was, who were kind of fighting for position there. So another threat snuffed out by the Junior Jays, and here's Jack Fifley bringing it up the left sideline. He will clear it in back to Dervin. Dervin going to look to reverse his field, and he does to Baber. And Baber will dribble it up for a bit. Here is Hoover. Hoover long touch to the sidelines, and he kicks it off of Jürgen Beller. And now Prep will get a chance to throw it in with Baber from about the 40-yard line on the Prep defensive side. Baber going to go with a long throw into Laurel Lotto, touches it with his chest, and now here we go again. Zamir Isika tried to go to Will Quinn, and a miss by Tyler Sennett, the freshman. So a chance for Prep snuffed out by Ryan Stumpf, the junior, able to recover. But that could have been really dangerous for the Knights.
Watch a set piece here with Burns.
Well, the set piece is just Burns playing tricks with the ball. A header, another touch, and I believe they said he was out of bounds when he touched it. So a goal kick, but Burns has had some fancy footwork and headwork too. He's had a lot of touches from basically everyone on the body you can legally touch it in soccer.
Yeah, Burns is an all-around athlete, standout cross-country runner for Prep as well. He's going to be active. He's going to be all over the field, and the ball's going to be all over his body. As he said, using his head, using his chest, using his feet and his thighs. He does everything.
Why didn't we broadcast cross-country?
That's a bit of a challenge. I mean, I don't know if we could mobilize our broadcast setup, but
well, we could just sit at the finish line.
Possibly.
And just, like, receive mobile updates. I suppose the bigger problem would have been you would have been running in most of them.
Yeah.
We could have mic'd you up.
I don't know about that.
Oh, this hill is very large.
That would not get great viewership, I don't think.
I think I would watch it.
People would tune in for 5 seconds and be like, what the heck, and close out the window.
I would watch that. Stumpf in Isika, an athletic play, almost got to it. Hoover did to Isika. Isika going to take a chance himself into Laurel Lotto. Has Hoover behind him and almost got it to him. Burns to Isika. Isika going for a hat trick. Oh, that was very close to a hat trick for Zamere Isika. Still in the first half here in Leahy Stadium. But Mount Michael's defense able to force a wide shot. And once again, we've got a Mount Michael goal kick. I'm not keeping track, but I'm certain we've reached the double digits by this point.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Creighton Prep, maybe even double digits in terms of just getting shots off toward the net. Not all have been on goal, but they have been just pestering.
Oh, there's certainly been over
defense.
10 shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here is Hove with the ball, man on, and he quickly gets it to Hoover. Hoover will drop it back to Fifley. Dangerous play with Deffenbaugh in the area. Callaway Deffenbaugh, the sophomore from Mount Michael, but Prep able to retain possession. Burns, another drop. This is going to be to Hove to the center of the pitch. And Hove will take it up as far as he can get it, looking for Will Quinn. And he wanted a header on that ball, but Santa Maria, as you said, doing a great job at waiting till the last possible second and getting right on the ball. Burns off his chest to Isika. Isika, a little bit of a drop to Fifley at about the 40-yard line. Here comes Fifley to Laurel Lotto. High touch. Isika takes it. And here comes Zamari Isika. Cleared in and kicked away. I think that was Ryan Stumpf, the junior defenseman for Scott, clearing the ball off the pitch and into the brick wall. But it will be yet another corner kick for the Junior Jays with 3 minutes to go here in the opening half.
Keep an eye on Jacob Hove moving in from center back toward that far post.
Two men coming on to the corner kick. I think that's Will Quinn taking it. And a low cross. Santa Maria able to slide in on his knees and pick that up with no trouble. And he will be able to kick it away. And a left-footed punt will bounce past Fifley, bounce past everybody. Hove and Fifley got it away. That was Callaway Deffenbaugh trying to get an opportunity there, unable to. Quinn, a nice pass to Isika. Isika to Lotto, nice through ball. And Lotto was offsides. He can't believe the call. but the flag was up from the linesman, and so that shot never even happened for George Lauro. Lotto had a great opportunity at it, great passing from Will Quinn and Zamari Issika, but he was offsides, so no shot from Lotto.
It all began with a great play from Jacob Hove on the back end, stopping the potential Mount Michael rush, and had a couple defenders on him, but was able to not force it through with his left foot, but instead get a touch with the outside of his right foot. Don't often see that, but a skilled play by Hove to force the pass through to Will Quinn, who was then able to transfer it ahead to George Lauro, who, as you said, nearly had that chance, just a bit offside.
Mm-hmm. Under 2 minutes now to go, and here comes Issika again. He has been on a tear so far in this first half. Here is Hoover now with it to Kimenow. Kimenow looking around, a little bit of a drop to Burns. Burns lofting it in for Fifley. Ball loose. Lotto, and now Mount Michael will finally clear it. Burns right there, though, on the clear. Aggressive play all around from these Junior Jays, but Mount Michael trying to take a chance.
Ooh,
Burns sliding in. Beautiful slide tackle. I can't do that in FIFA without getting a yellow card for it, but he's able to pull it off legally. Lotto to Quinn. Minute to go here in the opening frame. 3-0 Junior Jays. Hoover trying to make it 4-0, but pass just bounces around and into the brick wall in the back. So once again, going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, look at Burns. He was the furthermost Junior J up the field, making that run on the play by Peter Hoover. He has just been everywhere for Creighton Prep. Omnipresent on the pitch for the Junior Jays. John Burns, just tough to deal with. He's almost like a pest for the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
Just anywhere you pass the ball, he's right there to challenge.
Yeah, you got that cross-country speed from him, and then those great soccer instincts. He's been playing soccer for a long time. Fifley with it. 15 seconds in the opening frame, so unless Prep gets something going quickly here, which it doesn't look like they will, now 10 seconds. Countdown going. Hoover to Issika to Baber. And we are 40 minutes through, and it is 3-0 Creighton Prep over Mount Michael. Zamari Issika 2 goals, Tyler Gonzowski with 1, and it is 3-0 Junior Jays at the end of the first half. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Leahy Stadium, in this second game of a triple header in the Ignatian engagement, I believe.
Ignatian Cup.
Ignatian Cup. Yeah, that sounds more like a soccer thing. Currently 3-0 in favor of the Creighton Prep Junior Jays. Zamari Isaka had 2 goals, one in the 13th minute, one in the 22nd, and Tyler Gonzalski added a third in the 29th. And so far, Tyler, it's been all Junior Jays.
Yeah, absolutely. Creighton Prep has looked as advertised as one of the top teams in the state. And, I mean, it's just extremely difficult to stop them once they get going on their set pieces, their crosses, their plays into the box from Brady Bragg and Jacob Hove. And also, they've just been quicker to the ball. They've been all over the place defensively, and their touches have been very well under control as well. Junior Jays have certainly looked like one of the best teams in the state today.
They certainly have. A play here up to Lotto, but deflected. And now the ball will still come to Lotto. It comes all the way 20 yards downfield to come and take that ball. And now it's Jurgen Beller with it. Ball to Lotto. Over to Burns. Burns will drop it to Fifely. Josh Townley Thomas now in goal for the Junior Jays. And Fifely will clear it up to Lotto. Lotto had a chance at it, but Nick Halpin, the sophomore defender, fell down, and the ref is going to say that was the fault of Lotto. So we will have a free kick for the Knights of Mount Michael.
And Townley in goal, another multi-sport athlete. We saw him time and time again on the basketball this season on the basketball court, playing varsity. Certainly has plenty of size to him, plenty of length in goal. Should be tough to get one by him, although, as we saw in the first half, keepers on the prep side have not been very busy at all.
That's for sure. Gonzalski battling for the ball with Halpin, and Gonzalski retains possession to Laurel Lotto, who is onside. And here we go for the Junior Jays. Nearly over the fence from Lotto. A little bit too much on that ball, and it's going to be a goal kick for Mount Michael, which is a sight we got very used to in the first half.
Yeah, that's an interesting play by George Lauro. The whole time throughout that first half, we saw Creighton Prep, when they would have those opportunities coming down one of the wings, they'd set it back into the middle on the cross and scored on a couple of tries. But Laurel maybe think that the goaltender's cheating towards that cross, potentially trying to slip one in a short side like Zamir Asaka did for the first goal of the game. Good look, just didn't quite come off his foot right.
Certainly, Fifely overplayed the ball a little bit, but able to recover and let it go out of bounds after battling with Kleinschmidt for a bit. Fifely to Hove. And Hove will clear it to Gonzalski off the deflection. And now the Junior Jays running again. Tried to clear it through to Will Quinn, but a deflection from Stumpf. And Gonzalski going to retain possession, set things up for Fifely. And Fifely to Quinn. Little too much on that ball as well, and Halpin getting the ball. Deflection to Burns in the midfield. And now Hoover, nice play. Laura with it now. And too much on that ball as well. Forster. Mount Michael a chance, but broken out. Oh! Heavy collision there. And 3 players are down. I think Jacob Hove shoved Grant Corey into John Burns.
And yeah, you got that right. Foul is against
So
Prep.
they're going to call it on Hove. Burns wondering what the heck is going on because I don't think he saw the shove. He just felt Grant Corey come in and kind of take him down. He thought foul was on Corey, but Hove definitely forced Corey into Burns. So an early opportunity here for Mount Michael to maybe get on the scoreboard for the first time all year. Forster put a lot on that ball, wasn't quite enough, and now Prep with a chance to defend. Hoover unable to get past Jurgen Beller, and Mount Michael still on the attack. That ball past Will Quinn, past Sam Kleinschmidt, past everybody to the sideline and out of bounds.
Well, Michael, you see starting to bring some more personnel up into that offensive side of the pitch. As only 3 players back defensively, 3 or 4. Mount Michael sense that they need something on offense.
Might need some on defense too as Peter Hoover's come all the way in. He'll try a cross. It's deflected. He'll try another. And Sebastian Santamaria, who was great in the first half, comes in flying to break up another cross opportunity. It is 3-0, but it could be much, much worse for the Knights of Mount Michael.
It was defended well, too, by Peter Haas on the back end. On that end line with Hoover, forced him to try a second effort on the cross rather than potentially get it in the first try. Second one wasn't quite as clean as the first look probably would have been. Good work by Haas on the back end.
Loro into Owen Glogowski. Glogowski making moves, and the cross a little too far ahead of Will Quinn, unable to take it, and we're going to have a goal kick, I believe. Or maybe a throw-in.
Yeah, it is a throw-in.
Okay.
In that corner that's almost impossible to see from the press box here. But yep, throw-in, and it'll go back to the keeper.
Hove with the ball in midfield. To Loro. Loro making moves. Has Maury with him and will give way to Maury. Back to Loro and cleared away from John Sitz, the freshman. It'll bounce almost to the fence on that side of the field, and Prep will have a chance to throw it in. And that is going to go into Aiden Maury. Now cleared up, and a chance for Mount Michael if they hurry, but they don't get it done fast enough. That was Hove with a ball, and he fell down, got back up, playing very physical defense as Jacob Hove. Probably should have been a foul call there. Looked like he extended the arm. But now here comes Prep. Gonzowski left it perfectly for Burns, and Burns, it's saved off of the goal post of the crossbar, of the football goal post. And now we're going to have a corner kick. Burns wanted that one badly. You could see him almost drop to his knees after that play. He really wanted that goal.
Yeah, and that chemistry as well. A perfect touch by Gonzowski, shielding off the defender at the top of the box and setting it up, teeing it up perfectly for John Burns to swing away. And that strike placed it pretty darn well.
Yeah,
probably just would have liked it to see a little more toward the corner, but up high forced the goalkeeper to
and there is almost a goal from Aiden Maury. He is in disbelief. Header off the crossbar. A lot of close opportunities for Prep so far.
I think we have to give them bonus points for hitting both crossbars in a span of 30 seconds.
I'd have to.
Well, come on now.
You got to give a little credit to Santamaria, too, for deflecting it into the crossbar. It wasn't like Burns was aiming for the goalpost. Crossbar.
Third.
Unbelievable. The Prep, I don't know what they drank at halftime, but whatever it was, it's certainly given them a bit of extra power. Right at the crossbar on seemingly every shot.
Yeah, that one was the football crossbar from Will Quinn. Junior J is just creating all kinds of traffic in that box. Santamaria, we've seen a couple times when he's been able to come out to the top of the box and play the ball and smother those opportunities for the Junior Jays when there's so many people in that area, you just can't access it.
More people coming. Loro tried to make a play, but Santamaria, no threat. He'll be able to just scoop it up easily under no duress and give it a punt out to about midfield. Solid play there by Kleinschmidt, playing the ball in the air, but the deflection goes right to Prep, and the Junior Jays on the attack again. Gonzowski tried for a through ball to Loro, but Mount Michael was able to get the stop. That was Nick Halpin, the sophomore. Fifely trying to get it to Hoover, and does kind of, but Jurgen Beller right there. And Beller over midfield. He will get to Grant Corey. Corey will try and get it to one of his teammates, but Hoover right there. That cross a little ill-advised as Gavin Forster comes up with it. And now John Burns has it for the Junior Jays. He will get it over everybody. Here comes Tyler Gonzowski. Definite cross chance here for the Junior Jays. Played into Burns. Burns one touch, two touches, and defender right there. John Burns still on his feet somehow. And they are going to give him a penalty kick. So John Burns, who has been desperate for a goal, I don't believe he scored a goal in his varsity career. Is this the moment? Oh, there is a man down behind the play. Looks like cramps for, I believe, Ryan Stumpf.
All right, here we go, John Burns. Yep. So Burns will take it, but yeah, like you said, the 42-yard line, we've got that player down.
Wouldn't it be something? I mean, I have heard people talking about how great a player John Burns is, but
they give
big
him so
issue
much
is
grief for not
he has
scoring.
never scored a goal in his varsity career.
Oh, he is going to hear so much about it on Monday if this doesn't go.
Oh, imagine if he misses this off the crossbar or something.
But, yeah.
Goodness gracious. I mean, he's already had a couple opportunities go just wide.
Yeah, and good to see Mel
Yeah,
Michaels,
it
Ryan
is
Stumpf back to his
Stumpf
feet.
quickly back up. So here we go. Burns in discussion with some of his fellow seniors, Will Quinn, Tyler Gonzowski, and Peter Hoover, all right there talking with him. I think Burns is still slightly in disbelief that some of the shots he's taking have been missed. And Luke Albers will come in for Ryan Stumpf, giving him a break. Also coming off for the Knights is Peter Haas, the freshman, and in for him is, I believe, Drew Van Hout. So here we go. John Burns to end his career-long scoreless streak.
Oh.
And he blew it wide. How anticlimactic was that?
Oh, man.
And the
You
clock.
got plenty of velo on it, that's for sure, but just not accurate.
And the clock going to start again. And play it in. It's Morey with it, and a deflection kicked well away by Jurgen Beller. Hoover comes with it, man, right on him. And Jurgen Beller has been everywhere for Mount Michael defensively in this half. George Loro to Burns, back to somebody. I think it's Loro.
Whoa.
Look at the speed.
Oh.
And look at the score from George Loro. How about that from George Loro, just running through everybody. 3 defenders had a shot at him and just could not get the ball away from him. Nice pass from John Burns. Better finish from George Loro. Another solid offensive play from Prep, and they extend the lead to 4-0 in the 49th minute.
Yeah, Loro, I mean, he looked like a sprinter on the track in the 100-yard dash. That was incredible. Those long strides just blazing past the defense.
And able to do that while still controlling the ball.
Booming strike as well. That's what happens when you can get a big run-up behind the ball and can get your momentum all behind it. That was a thing of beauty. Picture-perfect play by Laura on the offensive side.
And it didn't even come off a set piece, just one pass. And the kick right to Drayton Baber on the kickoff. Here is Jacob Hove. And Hove will kick it all the way out of bounds. Ahead of Will Quinn, ahead of everybody. And now Ryan Stumpf, who was down earlier with cramps, has returned to the game. He will relieve Nick Halpin, the sophomore. And Mount Michael has a chance to throw it in. Now down 4-0. If this scoreline holds, this would be the 3rd of 3 games this year they have lost by a 4-goal margin or worse. Definitely wouldn't be a great start to the season.
No, definitely not. But still plenty of time to correct things for Mount Michael. Still early, still trying to figure themselves out and feel out how they best want to go about attacking this season.
And they are a very young team, so it's not like this is a team full of seniors that expected to win and just has been crushed every time. This is a team that's still, like you said, trying to find their way, trying to find the best way to play with each other, trying to find the best way to attack this season. Team with no worries about how to attack is Prep. They're in the goal box again. It is Will Quinn kicking it off a defender, and another set piece coming off a corner kick for Creighton Prep upcoming. We're under 29 minutes to go here in this second game of the triple header here in Leahy Stadium. And I believe it is Will Quinn who will take it from the corner. Very high ball, and it's put in. What a play. using his head. I think that's Owen Glogowski, the junior midfielder. What a great set piece from Creighton Prep, and what a great finish from Glogowski.
Yeah, and a beauty of a corner kick from Will Quinn. Got it high up in the air. No wind here today, so you don't have to worry about the breeze playing any tricks on the ball, but got it high up in the air. Gave Glogowski plenty of time to read the flight of the ball, get himself in the perfect position, and just smash it into the center of the net with the head. Perfect play.
So now a 5-0 lead for the Junior Jays. And again, a deep kickoff from the Knights. This one right to Stephen Kimenow. He will play it off of his head to Josh Townley-Thomas, who can pick it up and will. He will roll it down over to the left sideline to Jack Fifley, who will shovel it up to Will Quinn. And here we go again. Quinn finds Glogowski. Glogowski finds George Loro. And Loro lost it to Beller. Mount Michael with a chance. But coming right in is Dominic Mantone and breaking up a potential play. And now Aiden Morey with it near the right sideline. Taking his time. Man on deep pass to Loro. Can he get there in time? He cannot. And Santa Maria there to gobble up yet another long ball.
Well, it's fun to watch George Loro run in space, isn't it? Gets those big strides going. You never know how much ground he's going to be able to cover.
That's for sure. Only guy able to stop him so far has been Santa Maria, and that's because Santa Maria's got a head start and a better angle. Here comes Peter Hoover. Crosses in over the head of Lotto, but Glogowski for the second time in under a minute, using his head and scoring his second goal, his second header since the 28:35 mark. We played less than a minute since then, and Prep now has two players, Isika and Glogowski, with multiple goals, and Glogowski really using his head to get both of those.
Yeah, I think Glogowski should, just for the rest of the season, don't use your feet again. Just use your head for every single touch, because the headers have just been magical from Glogowski here in the second half. What an effort, and again, what a play. Peter Hoover finding his way down to that end line, sending the cross back in. The Junior Jays have just been so good at crashing into the box, putting pressure on the defense of Mount Michael, and just inhabiting the back of the net. 6 tallies now for the Junior Jays.
Will Quinn discussing something with the Prep sideline about, I think, his shin guards or perhaps his cleats, but Will Quinn will have to toss something off of his legs and onto the sideline, and will return to action. 27:39 to go here in this game, and it has been all Junior Jays on the offensive end. A 6-0 lead, and if the offense keeps attacking for much longer, this game has a chance to get kind of ugly.
Yeah, absolutely. And Creighton Prep, you don't necessarily need to keep scoring. Obviously, you'd love to feel confident, but this is an opportunity to get some bench guys in. We've already seen it throughout the day, but get some of your lesser-known players in the game, give them a chance to work and get some valuable experience, and work on some plays you've been wanting to run in practice, wanting to execute in the game, but maybe haven't been able to quite as much because the games have been closer.
I mean, yeah, we've already seen a lot of their set pieces. They might as well try and work in some more. Nick Ostopovich now coming in for the Junior Jays. Played quite a bit in the first half, was definitely one of those table setters for the Junior Jays. Another deep kick, this one straight to Stephen Kimenow, clearing it to Townley-Thomas. And Townley will kick it on over to Jack Fifley. Fifley out of bounds. And now Nolan Beller will throw it in, but right to Drayton Baber. Baber to Ostopovich, and Ostopovich. Beller able to get on that ball, and Ryan Stumpf with it now. Moves being made by Davis Eichmann, and now Aiden Morey with it. Morey going to try and make a little bit of a run. Aiden Morey still making a run. Aiden Morey clearing it in, and a corner kick. A nice bit of a run there from Aiden Morey, able to sidestep 2 defenders and get the Junior Jays another corner kick. Could we see 3 headers in the span of 3 minutes.
Well, is
from Owen
Glogowski in
Glogowski.
there? Yep, there he is, number 6.
He is
right
in there.
Standing right about at the PK spot.
There are subs coming in, but it does not look like they will be for Glogowski, so he will have a chance to get a header hat trick in the span of just about 3 minutes. How incredible would that be? They do have a man marking him. Ball in high. Not enough for Glogowski. It was enough for Will Quinn, who already does have a goal this year, but he headed it right to Santa Maria. So it will remain a 6-0 ball game. Another great corner kick from Prep, though. Fifely, a nice kick. Gonzowski running for it. He's got it. And guess what? Prep's in the attacking end with a chance to cross again. Fifely will cross it this time. Loro has it. A little bit of a drop to Hoover. Hoover double-teamed and lost it. Now Mount Michael the other way. Chance to attack. A nice play there from Brady Bragg to retain possession and slow things down a bit. Going to go back to the middle of the field with Kemenau. Kemenau to Mantone. Mantone triple-teamed. Almost kept it, but didn't. Here comes Nolan Baller. He will give way to Ethan Moline, and Moline a chance to attack, going 1-on-3 basically. Lost it, and they will call a foul. Playing the man and not the ball that time was Brady Bragg. So a free kick here for Mount Michael, and this is probably the best chance they've had to score all night, or all morning.
Yeah, right outside the box. It's their opportunity, and probably not enough time to get back into this one and force a draw or even a victory for Mount Michael, but maybe get a goal in there, get some offensive looks, feel more confident as you leave 74th and Western here today and head back into regular season play. They've got Omaha Scott Catholic right back on their schedule for Tuesday afternoon. Mount Michael lost them 4-0 this morning.
Play in. Townley couldn't quite corral it, but it is cleared away. Or is it? Loose ball in the box, and another save from Townley. That was Davis Eichmann having a go at it, but Townley making back-to-back saves. So Mount Michael will remain off the scoreboard, at least for now. They do, however, have a corner kick coming right up, and let's see, it looks like it's going to be Will Bruggeman, the sophomore, taking it. So Townley finally getting that experience, and you know, he's been a backup goalie for most of his soccer career at Prep, but it is nice to see him look pretty comfortable back there in goal.
Yeah, absolutely. That size certainly helps him a lot, especially when he has to lay out and extend like we saw there right on the end line.
I mean, he is 6'8". It definitely helps to have that type of length. That kick looked like a Chargers field goal, wide right. And now Fifely will clear it up off the goal kick to Gonzowski. A nice touch. Letting the ball settle. Mantone with it at about midfield. One man on, one man behind. Mantone able to somehow get the ball to Gonzowski. He will get it to Owen Glogowski. Here comes Stephen Kemenau. Prep on the run again. Aiden Morey made a run earlier, making another one here. Cross into Glogowski. Too high for everything and out of bounds. But Prep still keeping their foot firmly on that gas pedal, and it seems like they've been able to get into the box almost at will.
Yeah, for sure. As we'll see Jack Johnson back into the game for Prep. But yeah, those runs. Prep has so much speed on the outside. Guys like Aiden Morey, he's a football player. Thomas Basali, cross-country runner. John Burns, cross-country runner. I mean, these guys are athletes through and through, and they have tremendous agility and speed to get in position to make those crosses. Here
comes George Loro trying to sandwich his way in between two defenders. He cannot, and here comes Morey with that speed you were just talking about. Couldn't quite clear it in. Will Bruggeman was there, but Peter Hoover is there to snuff out the Mount Michael attack. And Hoover to Jack Johnson to Morey. Back to Hoover. Hoover, nice touch. Lefty.
Whoa.
Off both crossbars, I think. That might be a new record for crossbars hit during a kick with 2. And it's going to be yet another goal kick for the Knights of Mount Michael.
What a volley by Peter Hoover. That was incredible to get that under control and just slice it right out of the air. An absolute ripper off the crossbar from Hoover. And that was set up by a strong play on the right side as well by Aiden Morey working along the sideline right in front of the Prep bench. Was able to work it in the middle of the field for Hoover to take over. Junior Jays, here they come again.
And it's Jack Johnson. For a guy who scores so often, 2 goals on the year, was the team leader heading into today. He's been silent on the score sheet, which is kind of weird given the margin, 6-0 with about 21:30 to go in this game. But he is one of those guys who you know is going to score when you need him. He had the winner against Central basically as time expired. So.
Well, he had the first one against Central. Pasali had the winner.
Oh, okay. So you know he's going to
still a big goal nonetheless.
You know he's going to score when you need him to. Corner kick here, high and deep into the box. Glogowski kicked it off of a defender. That was Will Bruggeman. Glogowski can't believe it. And there is a defender down well behind the play. Having one is Brady Bragg, but right to Santa Maria. And Santa Maria goes down immediately and try and help one of his teammates. For how cold it's been, there's been a surprising amount of people stretching.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell exactly how cold it is from up here. It feels a little colder. I think the cold air gets trapped up here in the booth. I think it is a little bit warmer down there. Because walking into the press box through the parking lot, it didn't seem too bad.
It seemed bad.
Oh, really? You thought so?
I did not think it was
maybe,
warm.
Maybe we have different perceptions of it.
It's only 39 degrees outside right now. You don't normally think of lower than 40 as something that will cause some cramps, but I don't know. They are working pretty hard. Here's a chance now for Mount Michael, but Callaway Deffenbaugh, the sophomore, could not run under it in time. We're about halfway through the second half. 6-0 Junior Jays. Second game of the triple header here in Leahy Stadium. And Townley will give it over to Kimenow. Kimenow to Mantone. Mantone to Morey, trying to get it back to Mantone. A little bit of 1-2 action, but Mount Michael snuffing that out. Morey, though, right there, deflecting 2 different passes. And now it is Will Bruggeman with the ball. Steal from Jack Johnson. On the sideline, 3 defenders in his face, able to get it out to Mantone. Mantone to Hoover. Hoover to Johnson, and here we go again. Jack Johnson showing some speed. Jack Johnson making a run. And once again, Prep a chance to attack. He's got Hoover there for a drop, and he will take it. Hoover trying to get it into Will Quinn. Didn't work. Hoover trying to retain possession. Also didn't work. Nolan Beller with it. He will give to Mike Colt, the senior. One of the few seniors on this roster for Mount Michael. That pass intercepted by Kimenow, given to Morey. Hoover, a wonderful touch. But unfortunately, the bouncing ball will recover to the Knights. And now, here comes Mantone. Looks like he got poked away there to Davis Eichmann. And now Prep with possession again. And game's definitely starting to slow down just a little bit here, Tyler.
Yeah, Junior Jays definitely look like they're starting to focus on passing a little bit more, switching the field. I like this idea. I think with the wind being down much more today, I think any team that plays, whether it's Mount Michael, Prep, Scott, who we'll see in a few moments with the next game, try and switch the field, get some balls high up in the air, switch the defense around, get it to the other side, because the wind's not going to play any tricks on it. You're going to be able to get it through pretty cleanly, and it could create some offense.
And there are a bit of gusts, but nothing like it was yesterday or even in the game against Millard North, where you could hardly kick a ball in the air without it coming back to you if the wind was against you. Morey with it, making moves, trying to make a run. Aiden Morey did make a run, but ran a little bit too far, a little bit too fast, and went out of bounds. So it's going to be a goal kick for Mount Michael.
Morey has been such a great presence for the Junior Jays. We didn't see him much, only saw him sparingly as a substitute when a couple guys got yellow cards in the Millard North game, but he has been seeing plenty of action, plenty of minutes here in this one, basically being interchanged with John Burns at the midfield position, and Morey's been a key piece of the Junior Jays, making those runs, showing why Creighton Prep has so much talent on the offensive side and is able to create so much.
Another cross. That one will end up on the top of the goal. So another opportunity for Prep. A little bit too high, a little bit too long, and out of bounds. And another goal kick coming.
And that was Hoover on the cross that time. He's been heavily involved as well. Seems like every Junior J has had
their moment, making a big play, creating offense, and on the defensive end, although they haven't had too much work, the backs have been strong as well for Creighton Prep.
Brady Bragg with it now. Tried to get it to Morey, and he knocked over the flag.
Poor guy.
Not the flag. Dealt with enough in the Millard North game with how windy it was.
Yeah.
It doesn't need any
You're
more punishment.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Hoover tried to get it to Morey. A nice through ball there from Peter Hoover. Aiden Morey with a through ball to Glogowski. Beautiful passing here from the Junior Jays. One more for Lotto. And George Lauro Lotto just missed it. Coming in from the right with his right foot. Able to make a play on the ball, but a little too excited and forced it right. Solid defense there by Mount Michael.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten it a bit tangled up in his feet. Wanted to, as you said, cut across it with the right foot and direct it into the middle of the net. But I think as he did that, his left foot also came across as part of his stride and knocked it sideways. So just a tough break for Lauro, but he'll get his looks.
And he already does have a goal this half, so certainly not like he's lacking for scoring. That ball deflected out, and officials will discuss. They say it's a goal kick, so about 15 more minutes here in this opening match of the day for the Creighton Prep Junior Jays, facing off against the Knights of Mount Michael, currently leading 6-0. Another goal kick for Mount Michael. It is Gavin Forster, the senior, who will be taking this one. And it will go right to Jack Johnson, who shovels to Glogowski. Glogowski going to take his time here with it. Tried to find Hoover, but Luke Albers was there. Tried to clear it over the head of Stanko. And now here comes Prep again. Glogowski. He wants a run, but he will drop back to Morey. Morey kicked it off of a Mount Michael defender, and the deflection will go to Kimenow. He will get it to Mantone. Mantone leaves it for Hoover. Hoover resets for Fifley. Everyone but the goalie for Prep inside of midfield. Bouncing ball recovered by Santa Maria. Glogowski wanted to crack at it, but unable to get it. Santa Maria coming all the way from the goal line to pick up that bouncing ball and corral it. And another punt for him. That one is retained by Mount Michael. Nice play by Stanko to get it to Eichmann. But lost the ball. They were going to say off of Kimenow, so Eichmann will throw it in quickly to Mike Colt. Looking for Stanko. Not going to find him, however. That ball will just skitter out of bounds. And another substitution coming on for Prep.
It's Matthews.
It is Max Matthews, the junior midfielder, coming in, relieving Aiden Morey, who has played well so far in limited action. Got a lot more of it today, as you mentioned earlier, and played very well.
That what you saw right there from Mount Michael has been probably their biggest issue today. Creighton Prep has just looked a step faster than them throughout this game. That through ball they played toward the left side of the box was about the best thing you could ask for to try and create some offense. It was perfectly executed. It looked like they had a man with a chance to get to it, but Brady Bragg seemingly no problem beating him to the spot.
What a run from Matthews, just coming in. Clearing it for Glogowski. A lot of foot behind that ball. And it will go over everybody. Glogowski, a little excitable for a guy who scored earlier today in the 29th minute. Everybody on Prep's been excitable today, and that's led to a lot of offense, but it's also led to a lot of offensive killing shots. And, I mean, I don't know, Tyler. You think that's just adrenaline, or why do you think so many of the shots have seemed to go off course, especially the ones where it doesn't seem like there's been that much defensive pressure?
Yeah, I think guys, as you said, are getting a little bit too excited to try and fire it in right away when, in reality, Glogowski, for example, there probably could have just taken a touch to stop the ball at his feet, still would have had plenty of time from basically right at the PK spot, and could have fired one on, and also taken a moment to look and see where the goalkeeper was. So.
Oh, a nice through ball. Here's Glogowski.
Oh, there you go.
No trouble there. And the third multi-goal scorer of the game for Creighton Prep. Let's see. We are in the 68th minute, I believe, at this
Good
point.
math.
Thank you. I worked very hard on it. So now Glogowski, Isika, and Glogowski have all been taking that celebratory trot back to the reset multiple times today. Only other scorer is George Laura, who had a goal in the 49th minute. And with under 12 minutes to go now, this game is probably just about wrapped up.
Yeah, for sure. As we see Omaha Scott, can't see him from this angle right here, but back behind Josh Townley and the Creighton Prep net, they're getting loose along the end line. So preparing for our next matchup, Creighton Prep, Omaha Scott Catholic. Scott beat Mount Michael 4-0 in the first matchup of this morning.
Prep resetting. Here is Bragg with it. And it is going to be interesting to watch Scott versus Prep because both, obviously the scoreline here for Prep has been incredible, a 7-0 game, but both of those teams are definitely teams that like to play setup ball a little bit more. That's where a lot of Prep's goals before this game had come this year off of set pieces, in the 2-1 win at Omaha Central and the 3-1 win against Millard North. A lot of those goals were off of set pieces, and it's the same for Scott. They've had some trouble scoring in the open field so far this year. Only one goal in their overtime loss against Gretna. They did not score against Lexington. But they are a team that can get some use out of set pieces, so it's going to be interesting to see how the set pieces battle works.
Yeah, for sure. And both ends, both sides, two of the most prestigious schools, really, I mean, in any sport for their classes, Prep in Class A, Scott in Class B. So, Scott's going to come in, pretty well coached, well-run team. It's going to be very interesting to see how the strategy battle plays out, just like you said.
Certainly. Hoover was looking for either Metcalf or Glogowski. Glogowski will take it. He will give to Metcalf, and that will be deflected away by Gavin Forster. Metcalf retains possession, gives it to Hoover. Man behind him. Hoover didn't feel Colt coming on and nearly lost it, but Metcalf was able to take control of it and resets. Matthews making a run. Faking a pass. What a move for Max Matthews.
Oh.
And Max Matthews will score his second goal of the year. In the 69th minute, Max Matthews with a nice play to get the score.
Yeah, Matthews with fantastic dribbling work there. You saw to get by those two defenders, he got his foot up on top of the ball and basically rolled it on the sole of his foot, and it worked to perfection. Matthews
looked like he faked a pass at one point to Metcalf to get a defender to move.
Matthews with another goal, scored a great one last week, and Matthews, all the Junior Jays getting involved. Great to see if you're a Prep fan. 8-0, my goodness.
And that kickoff will go straight out of bounds. This isn't even the worst loss that Mount Michael will take this year if this scoreline holds. It would be tied for the worst. They also lost 8-0 to Omaha South, and we were talking about it earlier, two teams that are top three in Class A. Not much difference between those two teams, at least based off of common opponents right now.
And you know who Prep plays on Monday?
Is it Omaha South?
It is Omaha South.
Wonderful.
So this game giving us a little bit of a benchmark on where the two teams stack up, and as expected, it's just about even, but they will meet on Monday afternoon, or probably Monday evening, 7 p.m. at Omaha South High School, so should be a classic.
Definitely. Here comes Matthews to Glogowski. Glogowski making moves, 2 men on. Doesn't matter. He's going to cross it in. Looking for Hoover. Nice deflection there from Nolan Beller to get it out. And it is Mantone running with Deffenbaugh. Deffenbaugh able to take control of it. Mantone kind of threw him down, and they're going to get you for that every time. Dominic Mantone, Callaway Deffenbaugh in a physical battle. Deffenbaugh won it. And another chance to set something up in the offensive end for the Knights of Mount Michael.
You see, despite the 8-goal margin, the physicality, the intensity is still there between Creighton Prep and Mount Michael. And that's part of it. Creighton Prep still has to keep up the energy because they've got a game coming up right after this.
Yeah. And with most of the starters resting and beginning their stretching on the bench and the neon pennies, you're definitely, I think you might see a little bit of a lack of energy to open the second game because they were at game intensity and now they haven't been at game intensity for the past 20 or so minutes. That could be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Guys who have been at game intensity, though, are the backups. Matthews nearly made another run, but too much on it, goes out of bounds. So guess what time it is? It's goal kick time for Mount Michael.
Matthews has certainly been at game intensity.
Mm-hmm. So 8 goals for the Junior Jays, under 8 minutes to go now in this one. A little bit of fighting going on there between Kimenow and Eichmann for the ball. And the officials rule that Eichmann will have won that fight. Throw in for Mount Michael. They're going to have Gavin Forster, the senior, throw it in. And he will put a lot on that, right to Kimenow's head. To Metcalf, to Matthews. And Matthews will clear it all the way back to, I believe that's Brady Bragg with it now. Right back up to Matthews. And Matthews trying to make a run. Thought he might have been pushed from behind a little bit, but Colt able to take possession over to Bruggeman. He was looking for Deffenbaugh, couldn't find him. Bouncing ball in the middle of the field. Hand fighting going on there between Metcalf and Forster. Hoover will take control of the ball, splits through 2 defenders. And that ball right into the stomach of Colt. That had to hurt. Still grimacing and holding his stomach a little bit. As the ball will go out of bounds off of Dominic Mantone. Deffenbaugh going to try and get a throw in. Nope, he will leave it for Beller. So another chance for an offensive attack. Ball cleared in and cleared away by Mantone. Every time it seems like Mount Michael's had a chance, Prep's defense has just been able to stiffen up and do a really good job at getting the threat away.
Yeah, for sure. They have been very well disciplined on the back end, reading the passing lanes, just seemingly a step ahead every time, like you said, of Mount Michael. Great work on both ends of the pitch for Creighton Prep.
Certainly. A step ahead on offense and defense. 8 steps ahead right now, 8-0 margin. Fifley with the ball near the left sideline. He will give it to Will Quinn. Quinn going to move into the space, finds Hoover. Little 1-2 game between Hoover and Quinn. Quinn keeps possession. A nice header there to George Loro. Loro deflected. Hoover not able to take possession. Instead, it is Colt with it. Now fighting for the ball with Hoover. He will get it to Forster. Forster now fighting for the ball with Hoover. Forster clearing it up, and Brady Bragg will go for it. Stanko and Deffenbaugh coming at him, but he clears it away to Kimenow. And Kimenow will give to Gonzowski. Had Matthews. Wanted a through ball. Not enough on there. Oh, Matthews still has the ball. Something fell out of somebody's pocket, I think. Matthews goes down. Matthews is still down. Getting up now, and it'll be a throw. And there's something, I believe, fell down.
I think Metcalf's going to pick it up. Maybe no, he's walking past it. It's right at the 15-yard line. I have no idea what it was.
I could have sworn something like pink and white fell out of somebody's pocket.
Oh, Matthews is picking it up. Yeah, I think it's a card.
Mm-hmm. Looks like that's what it is. Matthews will return to the bench. I think that is Pasali back in. And they'll throw it right to him. He will set it up for Mantone. Mantone going to have one, but too far left of the goal to do any damage, so it'll be another goal kick for Mount Michael. About 4 minutes to go here, and Tyler, who do you think's been the most impressive player for the Junior Jays so far today?
All of the above.
Fair.
Yeah, but how about the midfielders? Burns, Pasali starting it off, Morey, Matthews, and the guys that have
Glogowski.
that have started the offense from about midfield and just carried the ball down the wing to about the 20-10-yard line to set up those crosses. Peter Hoover's been involved as well. They've impressed me the most, and you can't pick out just one of them.
Yeah.
They've all been dominant
And
doing their thing.
you didn't even mention Owen Glogowski, who scored 2 headers in the span of 2 minutes.
Yeah, that guy too.
So, yeah, everybody for Prep has done something of note. Here is Peter Hoover making moves. A spin from Peter Hoover. And tried to make a run there, going to give a corner kick to the Junior Jays. Once again, under 3.5 minutes now in this second game of the tournament today. Looks like it will be Peter Hoover going to take the kick here. Over the head of Santa Maria, and that's a mistake we haven't seen him make all game, but luckily it's over the head of everybody else too. And Mount Michael able to clear it out of the box at least for a little bit. Glogowski to Mantone. Back to Glogowski. Glogowski off a defender to himself. Glogowski goes down. And now Mount Michael trying to clear it. But a solid play there from Jack Fifley. And that ball will go over the head of Deffenbaugh and out of bounds. Looked like Mount Michael might have had a chance at a run there, but Deffenbaugh just was not able to get a play on the ball. Now here we go again down the left sideline. The one sideline we don't want it to go because we can't see what's going on. And somebody's going to throw it in. Looks like it's Jack Fifley. And he will try and get it to Glogowski. It will not work. Ball cleared to Deffenbaugh. Deffenbaugh going to give it to Colt. Colt back to Deffenbaugh, back to Colt. Nice little 1-2 game. And then Brady Bragg came in to break it up. Deflected. Hoover. Bragg with it. Trying to control it. He cannot. Instead it is Bruggeman who will control and try and play it to the left. That is Davis Eichmann with it. Trying to go right back to Eichmann was Stanko. Eichmann now right back to Stanko. Kimenow shielding the ball very well, but Stanko able to take it away from him. There's the cross. There's a shot, but a little dribbler right to Townley from Mike Colt. And probably the best scoring threat of the day for Mount Michael, neutralized a little too easily by Josh Townley.
Yeah, the shot looked pretty rushed, too. It's hard to tell from up here exactly how pressurized the defense was there from Creighton Prep, but shot definitely taken very quickly, and as a result, flat-footed, not much on it. Easy play for Townley.
For sure. It's been easy all day for the Junior Jays, and with a minute to go, this is certainly, I know the year is young, but this has certainly been one of the best performances of the year for the Junior Jay soccer team.
Oh, no doubt about it. Should bring them plenty of momentum going forward, as at least going up until Monday, the schedule gets just gradually, progressively tougher with Omaha Scott, tougher than Mount Michael, and Omaha South.
Tougher than almost everybody.
Toughest team in the state. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely should be an interesting game. This game, not very interesting, but certainly rather enjoyable. With 30 seconds to go, Townley will get one goal kick. If I'm recalling correctly, this is either the first or second goal kick for the Junior Jays.
There have not been many.
There have not. That ball to Pasali. Pasali with 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that will do it as the horn sounds. An 8-0 victory for the Junior Jays of Creighton Prep against Mount Michael. Tyler, any final thoughts?
Well, I can't really pick a man of the match, quite frankly, for Creighton Prep. If there's anybody, I'd probably go with Zamir Osaka, just getting the Junior Jays off on the right foot with the first 2 goals of the match. But Creighton Prep, just a dominant performance, front to back, excellent performance. The strikers got involved. Gonsalski with a couple tallies. The midfielders, as I talked about toward the end, were making a lot of plays, setting the table with crosses. And defensively, just almost no chances, no quality chances really for Mount Michael. They got a couple weak shots off, but everything neutralized for the Knights. Junior Jays, excellent performance, and they got a chance to carry that momentum into the next game, just 15 minutes away, Omaha Scott.
Certainly. We'll have that Scott game as well for you here on CPSN. So for Tyler Reedy and our entire crew, I'm Brendan Prizeman saying so long.